Hey everyone, welcome back. We need to make more Polestar videos, and that's what I'm doing. So we want to have a look at what Polestar's new CEO has to say. Elon Musk politics are a sales opportunity for Polestar, says the CEO. We need to look at this. The increasingly active role Elon Musk is playing in a global politics is turning off many Tesla customers and creating an opening opportunity for Polestar, the rival EV maker chief executive officer said. And here's a statement, and I quote, "We get a lot of people writing that they don't like all this," Polestar CEO Michael Lasceller told Bloomberg News. He also said it's important to listen closely to what they say, and I can tell you a lot of people have very, very negative sentiments. Lasceller 56 said he told salespeople to target disgruntled Tesla owners for potential business. Polestar could use the help that the CEO hopes to get from Musk asserting himself in Washington, Berlin, and Westminster. The maker of premium electric vehicle is coming off another year of disappointing sales that were well short of initial projections made in 2021 when it struck a deal to go public by merging with a special purpose acquisition company, a SPAC. Lascello called Musk a very successful businessman, and he said he's done incredible things with Tesla. He didn't mince word, however, about Musk's emphatic support for the far-right alternative for German party. And here's another statement. For Germany, somebody outside of Germany endorsing right-wing politics is a big thing, Lascelles said. He also said, "You want to know what I think about it? I think it's totally unacceptable. Totally unacceptable. You just don't do that. This is pure arrogance, and these things will not work." Musk didn't immediately respond to the email requested for comments. Tesla's vehicles delivery declined last year for the first time in over a decade. And so that's generally what the CEO had to say. The article just goes on to basically explain that Polestar was basically created out of Volvo cars, and it's now owned majority by Geely Holding, the parent group of Volvo and Polestar. Lascelles expects Polestar to increase retail sales by as much as 35% annually over the next 3 years by moving to a more traditional dealership model and rolling out new models, including a compact SUV. That is the Polestar 7 that's on its way. The company previously took a Tesla-like approach to retailing, letting car shoppers kick tires and book test drive through showrooms while taking orders online. He also said it is so obvious basic things that were just being missed. Lascelles said of Polestar early years, "If you don't have an active selling model in an industry which is ultra competitive, that's a big miss." And of course, he's right. He's absolutely right. You know, something that Tesla makes really simple? Tesla basically took Apple's model and said, "Okay, Apple makes it really easy for you to buy an iPhone." And Tesla said, "That's what we need to do. When people come to our website, it needs to be able to buy a Tesla car with a similar process to buying an iPhone. It needs to be super simple and straightforward. None of that complicated BS." And the Polestar's new CEO is basically agreeing with that, basically saying, listen, we need to take that approach. We need to make it easy for customers to buy our cars. That's not a bad thing. Making it easy for them to buy our car is not a bad thing. And they need to do this now. And that's what they're actively taking steps to do. So I'm really happy with the Polestar new CEO first actions within the company. This article also goes into more detail. It says Polestar is burning through roughly 110 million a month, a level that Chief Financial Officer Jean-François Mady called unsustainable and unacceptable during an investor briefing last week. The company plans to address this by reducing inventory and capital expenditures after spending heavily to launch the Polestar 3 sport utility vehicle and the Polestar 4 SUV coupe and the Polestar 5 sports sedan that will soon be revealed. So after the third quarter with 501 million in cash, Polestar secured more than 800 million in December from banks it didn't identify. The company is looking to line up with an additional 400 million via a loan facility expected to be available before the end of this month. So the CEO had this to say, and I quote, "We will first have to bring funding needs down significantly." Okay, I like that immediately. I like that. He wants to bring funding needs down. He wants to reduce that significantly. Those are his words. Once Polestar showed progress on the front, he said secure an equity investment that allows the company to execute for the next 3 years of the highest importance. So wow, that is quite impressive for the Polestar CEO to be saying. And quite happy with what he's saying, to be honest. This is looking great. So apparently this was the expectations for Polestar sales versus the actual reality. So blue line was the forecast from the 2021 SPAC deal, and the white line is the actual sales. Looks like their biggest year was 2022. I think they hit 55,000 vehicles delivered. So they thought by 2025 they would have been delivering almost 300,000 vehicles. So I'm glad they still have that ambition, but I'm glad the CEO is taking it as a challenge that, you know what, we need that compact SUV, we need new vehicles, we need new models, and we need to switch our buying model. This is good. This is honestly good. This is a great step. So we have other news on Polestar as well. And this I find quite interesting. I spoke about this not too long ago. Polestar seeks new suppliers after US ban on Chinese car software in electric vehicles. Carmaker backed by Chinese Geely maintains US growth strategy despite mounting uncertainty. Polestar, the electric car maker backed by China's Geely, said it will seek new suppliers to get around a US government ban on Chinese technology or software in new high-end tech vehicles. The ban threatened Polestar's future in the US, but its chief executive, Michael Lascelles, said the group would continue to expand in the Americas despite the return of Donald Trump as president, who has vowed to revoke the country's electric vehicle mandates. Last week, the U.S. Commerce Department finalized rule prohibiting the use of Chinese software and hardware for electric vehicles, shutting out cars made in China from American markets. Polestar was considering new non-Chinese suppliers for its EV software and other components, Lascelles said in an interview, adding that the group had enough time to find a solution before the ban came into effect from 2027 model year. We have a manufacturing facility in the US. We're creating American jobs, Lascelles said, referring to the Volvo plant in South Carolina that also produced Polestar vehicles, Polestar 3 to be most exact. He also said, we will have and find solution because the US is a big growth market for Polestar, for us. Once again, the CEO is saying all the right things. I must say, I wasn't sure about the change of leadership, but if the Polestar CEO keeps on going like this, it's making a lot of sense. Obviously, they made a change of Polestar leadership, and what the last Polestar CEO faced was a lot of public criticism that his approach for business was simply not aggressive enough. And the thing that I can see immediately that the new CEO, Michael Lascelles, his approach to doing business is way more aggressive. But I don't know to what extent he's being allowed to do this. He is the CEO, but he still has to answer to someone, I'm guessing. And Polestar being a company that is owned by Geely Volvo, it has its restrictions. So I really don't know what's going on within Polestar, what has been happening within Polestar. But I always assume that some of these things that are being done, like an easier mode for buying these vehicles, a more Tesla-like approach to selling these vehicles online. I always assumed they didn't do that because perhaps the parent company, Geely, would restrict the former CEO from doing that. It turns out that might not be the case at all. The Polestar 7 was always a planned vehicle. They always intended to make that vehicle. I heard the former CEO spoke about this I heard the former CEO spoke about this himself. So they always wanted to make that vehicle. And it was always said that if they wanted to make it and they had a choice, they would want to make it in Europe. And with the recent news coming out that Polestar is going to make the Polestar 7 compact SUV, it was also confirmed that it's Europe that they want to make this vehicle in. And it makes a lot more sense now because of the tariffs that are being added to European markets based on Chinese-made goods or Chinese-made EVs. There's a lot of tariffs being added to these things. So Chinese companies, they have to invest in a manufacturing facility in Europe to produce their vehicles and sell their vehicles in Europe, especially if they want to benefit from these things long term, 10, 20, 30 years down the line. But like I said, this is great news. This is absolutely great news. I think we'll end the video here. I just want to make more Polestar videos, so thank y'all for watching. Subscribe to join our community and leave a like. And I will see you in our next video. If there's any other Polestar news you'd like me to talk about, leave a link in the comments. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.